A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim. These are two verses from Surah Yasin, verse number 14 and 15. A'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. And set forth to them the parable of a people of the town when the messengers came to it. When we sent to them two messengers, they rejected them both, so we strengthened them by a third. And they said, verily we have been sent to you as messengers.
Mazur, could you kindly explain to us the background of this parable?
This is a verse of the Holy Quran, but translation, have you done it?
No.
Oh, please. This verse, as far as the interpretation goes, is a highly controversial verse. And many a commentator has commented differently. Mostly they are inclined to believe in a story of some apostles having been sent by Jesus Christ who were rejected, and he strengthened them with the third one. This has no ground, no evidence of any sort, and it does not apply to them because his apostles were not apostles of God. While here it clearly speaks of apostles of God of some very high order, not ordinary prophets, but they must have been prophets of great status, which the Holy Prophet, the Holy Quran refers to. So this requires our search of history, our search into history, al-qasas, and to see whether any two prophets can answer this description or not. Now when we make a journey into history like this, I believe the first two prophets which come to mind are Moses and Aaron. They are the two prophets who were sent and were rejected, ultimately, or in the beginning. They are understandable. One can identify them. But who is the third? This is the question. Here the comments differ again. And some people refer to Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the third prophet of Allah who was sent to them so that the message is not rejected. And in this concept, the wording of the Quran seems to be more applicable. وَعَزَّزْنَاهُمَا بِثَالِثٍ. عززنا
جی ہما نہیں ہے
فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ. The same thing, whether Huma is mentioned or not, but the same thing is expressed. Two prophets of God were sent before, who were rejected in the beginning and rejected in the end. Both. Some people say it was Jesus Christ who came as third. But Jesus Christ was no source of honor for these two, and he never mentioned them. Jesus spoke of the teachings, but never spoke of any two prophets. Again, remove Jesus and the honor they contain from Allah, Moses and Harun, remains the same. Jesus was not a source of boosting their honor. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is most certainly a source of boosting the honor of these two prophets by attaching him to them and their message, and by repeating the same message, do believe in them and believe in me. Now, when this happened, at the time of Rasulullah sallam, the Jews of the time, or the Ahl Kitab of the time, were addressed exactly like this. The Holy Quran has various references to that incident. I carry the teaching Rasulullah sallam told them, which was revealed to Moses later on. I am the custodian of that book. I am the custodian of divine revelation which were revealed to them and which remain as yet unfulfilled completely. So with that, the whole picture becomes clear and the matter is settled, it seems. Yet there are some flaws. We must also consider them. Why repeat to them the example of these? Read the verse of the Quran, then I'll explain the problem attending this.
Begins, وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ.
Now, the problem is, it sounds good, this explanation. The problem is manifold. Al-Qarya, which is the Al-Qarya? You see, if Al-Qarya is Mecca, then the first two did not address this Qarya. If Al-Qarya is Palestine, then Rasulullah sallam did not address that Qarya. He addressed Al-Qarya in the sense of Qura, which was not addressed by Moses and Harun before that. There is one very important problem. Read the verse again.
وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ.
Now, it appears from the style of the verse that all three cohabited at the same time, the same age. They lived in the same age, they shared the same age, they addressed the people one after the other. If that is so, then it cannot apply to the explanation which I have given. Which some have suggested or I have given, let's say. So the problem still remains unsolved. Let's turn back and find out what the problem is about. Read the verse again.
وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا
Now,
إِلَيْهِمُ
Masalan indicates that it is not Rasulullah sallam himself who is included. Because وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا means a complete picture which is being presented has passed before the time of Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Otherwise, if he is a part of that masal, he could not have been mentioned like this, as if before him it had happened. وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ positively indicates a thing of the past or a thing of the future, not a thing of the present. Again.
وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ.
Now this new situation does not apply to any prophets of God before. From the history of the Quran, from the history as preserved by the Quran, and from the history as preserved by other books, divine books, this does not apply. Can you recall any event in the past where this is fulfilled? Unless The third, all these are just mursaleen, but not definitely the prophets of Allah. That is one possibility. This must have happened during an age when two prophets and another person who was also one of the mursaleen, in the sense that he was specially raised for the purpose of honoring the word of the first two prophets. If we take this term loosely, then perhaps it can apply to Moses and Aaron. Because the Holy Quran has also referred to an event where Moses and Aaron are rejected by their people, and someone who is of high esteem among them, who is held in high esteem among them, comes rushing when they are about to decide that they should be murdered. He comes rushing and tells them, if Moses is from Allah, then you know this and that will happen to you. And if he is not, then what is it to you? You shouldn't be concerned. So because there, although just Moses is mentioned, but both are bracketed together in fact. After they were raised to the status of prophethood, from then on they had become one. And the Holy Quran refers to one meaning two, refers to both meaning one. So if this is the possible scenario, then the explanation would be Azzazna. How could they be made nobler by this? This does not mean that that messenger, because he was added onto the trio of the three, that is how they were made noble. God honored them. This would be the meaning. God honored them by sending a helper to them who addressed the people and said, believe. Now, do the three say believe in us or not? This is the question which again has to be referred to the same verse. Understand? We must tackle the problem factually as it is. And in our enthusiasm to interpret the Holy Quran, we should not attribute things to it which are denied by history. Please.
وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ إِذْ جَاءَهَا الْمُرْسَلُونَ إِذْ أَرْسَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ اثْنَيْنِ فَكَذَّبُوهُمَا فَعَزَّزْنَا بِثَالِثٍ فَقَالُوا إِنَّا إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ.
إِلَيْكُمْ مُرْسَلُونَ. This does not indicate that the third also claimed that believe in me. You see? He was sent to make them understand the situation. And by sending him to support the cause of the first two prophets of Allah, God honored them. And the third person gave witness to their truth. Now, if this verse is applied loosely to this situation, I think it can still apply. Although there will be flaws, some flaws which perhaps we have to gradually tackle and turn them to fit into the situation. But all other proposals have more flaws, greater flaws, insoluble flaws. This, I suggest, is the one which is riddled with least number of flaws. But if it does not satisfy our conscience, then we must keep searching for another possibility, which may apply to a future event. So I'll come to that after this has been tested.
Hazur, the third person. Hazur, the third person, just from my knowledge, was he the one who said in yaku sadiqan yusibkum? يقول
As far as the rest of the comment is concerned, I think we best to postpone it to our session tomorrow, because I believe I would require definite references for that. And just through my memory, loose general memory, this very important subject should not be dealt with. So inshallah, I have a plan in mind of gradually exposing the commentary of this. Possibly, I mean, my word will not be the last word, but I hope with reference to the Quran and other great commentators of the Holy Quran, we will come to some conclusion. But definite references have to be given. For that I will need time, right? So inshallah tomorrow we will return to the subject. And in the meanwhile, you better continue. Who is to continue? You? Yes.
if I may translate this bit.
Yes, please. Oh, yes, of course. In the meantime, I can pay my tribute to Mr. Abdul Rahman for pointing out this verse to me and helping the whole world to understand the true meaning of this very important verse. Thank you very much.
Yes.